Okay, so just do some testing on my do-it-yourself leaf controller here. Basically, I had something tripping out my desaturation detection. What I boiled it down to was some ringing. Basically, when the low side IGBT was trying to turn on really fast, it was actually getting to a point where it would actually ring a bit. And because the emitter, which is the DC negative input to the controller, the emitter was connected to the DC minus. When the ring would happen, the DC minus would bounce up and down, and it happened like just once, and it would go down up, which is fine as the emitter is conducting to the collector. But once the ring starts and it goes back the other way, the emitter drops, which means the DC minus drops, which means the COM, which is what the desaturation detection circuit uses as a reference, actually would drop down, and that would be just like 4 volts bounce there, and that would be enough to add to the 2 volt, maybe 4.5 volts, for instance, would be enough to add to the 2.5 volts or 2 volts I have on the circuit already from the Zener diode and the other diode in series. So anyways, I got my Arduino hooked up. I only fixed the middle phase. Now I don't have phase 1 or 3 fixed yet, but this should only flash, I believe. I might have my phases switched, so it'll flash possibly a 1 flash, which is phase 1, or phase 3. I don't think it'll flash phase 2, but if it does flash phase 2, that means phase 3 is the one that's fixed. It's actually the middle phase, but like I said, I switched 2 wires to get my motor to spin the other direction. Anyways, I believe I have it fixed. You can see here, there is no desaturation events here. Now I have some spikes there. That is, that for instance is that spike there. That is actually the current trying to go through the diode. So that's actually a spike. That's not ringing, but that's a different topic that I'm trying to discuss. But I can go through all of these events from my last test, and I have 0 desaturation on phase 2. So I'm going to do one more test for the video, and then I think I'm going to go home and I'll finish fixing this tomorrow night, and we'll continue. I'm very excited. I don't know if I'll be able to sleep tonight. But yeah, you can see I'm going through the whole sample. I sample a long sample there to try and make sure I can look at lots of data at once. And I don't see any issues. So let's go back about there. Run stop. Now we're going to go to B here. And here we go. Yeah, so phase 2 and 3 are backwards, so I'm getting error code 2. So it thinks phase 2 is this side, but phase 2 is actually the middle. It doesn't matter. As long as I know where it is, that's all that matters. But we can go back here again and look at what we just sampled. And we have no desaturation events. They all look good. There's no problem there. Everything looks good on that phase now. So now I can fix the other 2 phases, and then I can continue moving forward. Basically, I might have to think about how I really want to fix this, but just for the video, what I actually did was added 200 nanofarads of capacitance to both the high side and low side gate to emitter. So basically, in my little container here I'm building up of capacitors, 2 of those little sons of bitches, if you can even see them in the video. My camera's not super clean, but nonetheless, I'll dig one out with my finger just for fun. So what I did is I stacked up 2 of those on both the trying to get it to zoom here or focus. 2 of those anyways on both the high side and low side, 2 in parallel each. So it doesn't take much to make a big difference.